I hope you don't mind the intermission, but I need your help. I want to get to 100,000 subscribers before this year ends. I want the silver play button hanging on that wall behind me before the clock strikes a close to 2023, and you most definitely can help me. You see, it turns out 63% of you watching this are not subscribed. It hurts so much. But luckily, the cure for that pain is so cheap, even Americans can afford it. Just click the subscribe button down below, and maybe, if all 63% of you do it, I might be able to do this full time very soon. Thank you for your time, and now, back to the video. Hello fellow Heroes of the Blue, and welcome to my channel, and welcome to the third video on what I hope gets to be a full series. This is Zero Skill, a series of videos where I develop techniques that give amazing results without the need to be a master painter. In this video I show you how to paint amazing looking tank tracks with just 4 extremely simple steps that anyone can do. Let's get cracking. So there are a couple of details left to paint on this tank, but for today's video we are going to concentrate on the tracks. And as you can see, they were base coated using lead belcher, but any mid-tone metallic will do. Dark aluminum from Vallejo Metal Color or any of those mid-tone metallics will be perfect. And because this is a Dawn and it has some rubber pads, I painted those using Corvus Black, but again any dark grey color will do, and we don't need to do any highlights or anything. We're just going to go straight in with the shading. And the first step will be to do a wash all over the tracks using Army Painter's Dark Tone. I'm using Dark Tone here, but again any black wash will do. I just been using this for the whole model, so I'm just going to keep on using it. And I'm going to apply this all over the tracks. Our initial wash with Dark Tone is now dry, and for the second step I'm going to do another wash using Agrax Earthshade. You can use whatever dark brown wash that you like. I just like Agrax Earthshade. The new formulation, by the way, it's fantastic. For the final step, we're going to use 2 things. One is pigment. In my case, I'm using natural umber because that's the pigment that matches my basing, and this is also the pigment that I've been using on my regular dudes. But in your case, you might want to choose other pigments to match your basing. And to fix it, we're going to use airbrush thinner. In this case, Vallejo airbrush thinner, and instead of putting it on top of the pigment, which can lead to very undesirable results, I'm going to mix them both. I take an old brush and I just mix the pigments with the thinner into a sort of a wash. The airbrush thinner will work as a binder, binding all of the pigments to the surface. Just like this. Our wash of pigments is now dry, and I'm going to add more pigments on top of this. These ones I won't bind to the surface because, well, it really doesn't matter if you apply them correctly, which is what I'm going to do now. I'm just going to apply them and mash them down really well. I'm going to concentrate this more on the edges and stuff like that. Just going to add a little bit of weathering towards the bottom there. You don't need to fix this because first of all, you're not going to touch it really, and second, it's only in the recesses and very lightly, so you don't really need to fix this. So I'm just adding a little bit of extra weathering to the surrounding areas of the tracks. And now for the final step, I'm going to use some Q-tips and the same airbrush thinner. The thing about airbrush thinner, about this one in particular, is that it will reactivate the pigments that have been binded with it. So I'm just going to apply a little bit of the airbrush thinner to a Q-tip, and I'm just going to rub it off the top surfaces to reveal some of the metal of the tracks, creating a very realistic and really nice weathering effect. You can probably use a makeup sponge for this. Would probably be better than the Q-tips, but everyone has Q-tips around and maybe not so much makeup sponges. But just because I do, I'm going to show that to you using a makeup sponge. Once you are happy with it, it's just a matter of leaving this to fully dry, usually a couple hours, so you are 100% certain that the airbrush thinner is completely dry and the pigments are fixed onto the tracks. I finished the rest of the details in the same way as I did in the Sentinel and the Stormlord, and I will leave a link to those videos and the red glow video in the top right corner. What other recipes do you want me to develop for the Zero Skill series? Leave that in the comments below. Thank you for watching this video, and don't forget that if you like my videos and want to help me make them, you can follow me on social media. You have the links to all my social media in the description below and in the pinned comment of this video. Share and like this video, but most importantly, there is Patreon and channel members. Patrons and members allow me to do all the cool videos that I want to make, and most importantly, they allow me to release them all for free here on YouTube. Perks include access to an amazing Discord community full of lovely people, early access to some of my videos, and now also private one-on-one tutorings. You have 2 tiers options for those, 45 minutes and 3 hours a month. They are filling fast, so if you want to have a private tutoring with me, don't hesitate and join now. Help me and my family enjoy the list of the coolest persons in the planet, including Chiaroscuris, Giovanni Constanza, Flo, Janner, Mark Vellenkoop, Will Ewig, Terry Denham, Robert Smith, Tyrannosaur, Heather Amsterd, Bartholomew Cahuza, Carlos Rivera, Stefan Franiati, Thomas, Greg Osborne, Howard Holtville, Chris Golfenthal, Thomas Oostergaard, Javi Mota, Mark Atkinson, Christoph Moret, Victor Domen, Nicolas Fournel, Felix Franke, Brendan Smith, Alfredo Phillips, Timo Uchida, Stephanie Oll, Nick DeMao, David Sutherland, Roger Nilsson, Oscar Jonathan Tomberg, Dan Mako, Cristalios, Jamie Milligan, Kevin Mian, Darcy Farrar, Chris Fivey, Samuel, Natius Maximus, Arundel, Gareth Smith, Mark Jarvis, Josh Simpson, Charles Armintas, G-Force, Dr. V, Leonard Lindemann, Kieran O'Murtha, and Kevin Sulas. And as for me, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!